Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together, and that is what's so key about this video. I've been following the Bud Light controversy for a while. I've done 2 videos on it because I fully see the parallels between what's happening to Bud Light and the gun world, the Second Amendment activists, the Second Amendment supporters across this amazing nation. Because the big secret is, they're the same people. And what if the same anger were actually pointed in support of the Second Amendment? I've got some more breaking stuff for you. We've got now a second worldwide marketing VP of Bud Light kicked out the door on a recommended voluntold LOA, or leave of absence. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below, and this is something I really would love for you guys to share out, because this shows the power that they don't want you to know you have. And if you are new or you're a returning viewer, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and making sure you turn the notification bell on. We need as many of you as we can to get into the fold with us so we can pass information just like this so the Second Amendment gets to the next generation. And thank you so much in advance for your consideration. And the content today is brought to you by SDI. Now, I know a lot of you out there like to upgrade and modify your firearms. And if you're looking to turn a hobby into a career, Sonora and Desert Institute can help. Their online programs cover everything from woodworking and ballistics, gunsmithing, shooting sports management, and more. Plus, all the tools and materials are shipped directly to your door. There's never been a better time to turn a hobby into a career, so what are you waiting for? There's a link in the description box below, and thank you so much to SDI for making this week's content possible. But my brothers and sisters, let's get into this, because as I mentioned, the parallels between what's happening to Bud Light right now and the Second Amendment support that we have in this nation are very strong. We bridge this gap, some amazing things will happen. But let me tell you about the second person to take a fall. Boss of Bud Light marketing executive is also placed on leave after backlash over partnership with you know what happened. Hey, let's face it, this is YouTube and I can't finish that sentence. So, you guys, I'm sure, are aware of the marketing VP who was made to do it. It was a woman named Alyssa Herkinshield or something like that. I don't know. It's not important. But now her bosses can too. So you now have 2 people who have been forced on LOA who were responsible for the marketing decisions in Bud Light that led to billions of dollars in stock valuation evaporated. It's kind of waffling up and down before sales numbers are reduced. You've got dramatic sales numbers across the board, and we'll find out pretty soon. All because you went woke and now you're going to go broke. But that's 2 marketing executives, and the global VP of marketing is now taking over. That is not the actions of a corporation that is not afraid, and that's the point. You have more power than they want you to know you do, because look at what they're doing. All right, let's keep going if we need to discuss more. Daniel Blake, who is the Anheiser-Busch vice president for mainstream brands, has stepped back from his job just days after Bud Light's VP of marketing, Alyssa Heinerscheid, took a leave of absence. So you'll notice an important distinction here. This is no longer just the VP of Bud Light. That's the VP of marketing for Anheuser-Busch. That is the parent company. That is the international organization that runs the entire show. You see how it's escalating up. Again, tell me that you don't have power and that it's a lost cause and you have no chance to save our country. I rest my case. Let's continue, because this is crucial stuff. Blake is Heinerscheid's boss, and the move highlights the turmoil at the multinational business, which is valued at more than $100 billion over Bud Light's deal with that situation. We know what we're talking about. Let's keep going. The company said the bosses decided to temporarily step down, but the decisions were reportedly not voluntary. Like I told you early on, if you've worked in corporations, this is, hey, you can take a leave of absence while you analyze your options and we'll reconvene, in which case you'll be forced out, or you can resign nicely in time. But right now, just get out. You got voluntold to LOA, what's what that means. Quote, given the circumstances, Alyssa has decided to take a leave of absence, which we support. Daniel has also decided to take a leave of absence, the company said. So now, let me show you what led to this. And again, keep in mind, the lens that I'm framing this from is, what if this exact same fury were allocated against politicians and corporations that went against the Second Amendment rights of this country? Imagine the power that could be held and to bring these corporations to heel if this were the exact same fury. I'll tell you what, the second American Tea Party, it's a fun one in the digital age, but let's continue. Blake is a 9-year veteran of Anheiser-Busch and oversaw marketing for both Bud Light and Budweiser. Almost like there's a direct correlation there. I wonder why he's on LOA as well. A replacement wasn't immediately announced. Heinerscheid's job was taken over by Todd Allen, who recently served as global vice president of Budweiser. So now you've got global vice presidents taking in, and the people responsible for the decision are out. By the way, you think this wasn't a woke decision from the marketing department inside this organization, approved by this guy at Anheiser-Busch? Sure seems to look like that, doesn't it? They're still losing money. They're still not going to recover. This is more than a boycott. This is a lifestyle change. Let's continue. Blake, who is based in New York, was promoted to Group Vice President of Anheuser-Busch's mainstream brands in May of 2022. Remember that, 2022. According to his LinkedIn page. Before that, he was Group VP of Marketing for Budweiser and the value brands. 2 months ago, he announced a new era for Bud Light as he shared an article about the beer's sophisticated decision to feature a female main character in its Super Bowl ad. Does that sound familiar? Sophisticated? Isn't that interesting that the chick who was responsible for the VP of marketing was talking about downing the fratty culture and downing the beer culture and middle America culture for a more sophisticated, newer brand? And then the VP of Anheuser-Busch is saying, well, we're going for more of a sophisticated clientele through our marketing push. Alyssa Heinerscheid was also brought on in 2022. By the way, it's in the article. It's linked. These two made the decisions that led to them losing billions of dollars, and now they're fired. And the corporations are learning a very painful lesson. I say again, imagine if it was applied to the Second Amendment. And the last thing for you, and then we're going to start this evening right. But that took a disastrous turn on April 1 when the partnership with The Situation was announced, sparking a boycott and knocking over $6 billion from the company's value. Who would have thought that the Second American Tea Party was going to be started and the veil was going to be lifted from all the consumers on April 1st over beer? It's almost like at the beginning of our country, we had a tea situation, and now when we needed it the most, we had a beer situation. These tea parties are fun as they evolve, aren't they? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.